Good morning. So, we got her in the clinic. It's been a hell of a 3 weeks period from beginning to end. Um, we had some drama the day before we left. You see, I all these days trying to make her understand that she had no choice. She had to go to rehab because I did add I did add a little salt and pepper to convince her, because she can only go on her own will. The papers from the lawyers about my sister and I being in charge of her, and deciding for her hasn't come out yet. And the clock was ticking, because my mother with a broken hip is more easy to keep in a psychiatric clinic. Okay, so, and I couldn't handle it anymore. I was up to here. It's just, I was going cuckoo. Though it was always one thing after another, she was just kind of pulling me there. I was feeling sorry for her, being alone in this room, and I was spending time with her and all that, but it always turned to shit. She would always start criticizing, if not me, somebody else. I mean, it was constant. She would always ask questions to get me into the conversation again, the same things every day. I know very well she knew the answers. I knew very well she knew my opinion. But she was just pulling me in and, using her memory loss, her memory gaps that she had, telling me, I don't remember, tell me again, explain me again. It was just to pull me in. Anyway, the day before we left, so we were leaving on Friday at 10 o'clock, and 9 o'clock we managed to get an ambulance, because that's not easy too. You cannot use the ambulance, the government ambulance, to take a woman to the boat when you're not taking her to government clinic, but you're taking her to a private clinic. So they don't work together. It's just, you either go one way or you go the other way. You either go with your own means or you go with the government means. But anyway, the doctor helped us out. So anyway, it was very difficult, because every day I had to try to talk her into it again, to tell her that you have no choice. You could have fallen, and I gave her examples of how things would have turned out if she had broken her rib in a way that she needed operation. If she needed an operation, I said they would have sent you straight to Athens. In 3 days, they would have realized that you are a sick person, that you have an addiction, and you would have made life of every nurse and doctor there hell. So they would have sent you straight to our main governmental clinic, which is, it's called Daphne. Okay, and it's well known that is not the perfect place to go. It has improved over the years, but people are afraid of that clinic, kind of. So it was hard work also, that part, to know, to be soft with her, and convince her. So we had that lady who was cleaning her twice a day. That lady was changing her diaper and washing her, and that lady would come twice a day, not more than 3/4 of an hour, half an hour to 3/4 of an hour. Okay, she's a stranger. I mean, we don't know her from anywhere. Um, she seemed nice. Every time I would meet her in the courtyard to tell her, to keep her updated to what happened, how my mother is, and all that. Um, she was always, be patient. I know it's hard for you and all that. There's such a shame that you have to go through that, and a very understanding kind of. So I had no bad feeling from that part, except that she was like very, very polite. She was like, "Yes, honey, yes, love, you know, oh, darling, oh, too many nice words, which I was not very used to and kind of felt awkward. And I should have listened to my first instinct. The first time I talked to that woman, I was, oh, this is scary. She's too polite, too polite, not too sweet, too uh, clingy sweet kind of. So anyway, um, the previous day, so the previous evening, I went to my mother's house with my husband to prepare her luggage, her suitcase. And I had a list with things I had to bring for my mother. But of course, me not knowing where my mother puts her stuff and all that, um, I I called her 3 times. Now the funny thing is that I left my mobile phone recording there in her room, and I forgot about it, and it was recording. And I listened to the recording, and I hear her talk to herself like, she was like a crazy person. I mean, we all talk to ourselves now and then, you say fuck, you say shit, or you say something. But she was having conversations with my father who was not there. And she was talking to my father, like saying, "No, George, um, you have to come and take care of me." And then you have a pause for like 5-10 minutes, and then again, "I hate those two," talking about me and my husband. And then another pause, and then, "My daughters have harmed me so much, have done so much harm to me, and it's like hours of talking to herself. And I mean, it sounded like this. It sounded like pause, and sound like this. And then suddenly the phone rings in the recording. You hear the phone ringing, and my mother picks up the phone, and she's like, "Oh, oh, it's not in that drawer. Well, maybe I forgot. Maybe I put them in the other drawer. Look on the left-hand side of the whatever, the cupboard that is next to my bed." Or so she was giving me instructions of where to find the things that she told me to find. And okay, if you can't find them, it doesn't matter. I'll buy some in Athens. Don't worry about it, But did you find also that? Oh yeah, and I thought about this. Can you bring me this? Normal people's conversation. And then the phone. I hang up the phone. I don't know what's happening on the other side. Okay, I hear the recording after, and then she goes back to her crazy person. Yeah. "Oh, George, it will be so nice to see you. Those daughters have done so much harm," or whatever. It was. I mean, I'm just repeating now because I can't remember, because so many hours, of this talk and mean things. They have done nothing with their lives. It's not like you say, you don't know who she's talking to, and you don't know what she's talking to, I mean, you can understand that she's talking to my father, but my father is not there. And I freak out. And I said to my husband, okay, we knew that she's not well in the head, but this is like crazy doing, she's in control of her madness, because she can stop at any moment, and she can be normal, and then she can be crazy again. And I said, this is like really good documentation for the doctors when I get to Athens, to tell them that this is what she does. I was very happy about that piece of recording, because it proved, I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but the doctors will know what to make out of this. And then suddenly you hear the woman come. 7 o'clock, the woman comes. And you hear her come in, and you can hear my mother goes, "You brought it!" Really happy. And I was like, what the fuck? And the woman goes to her bed. You hear the woman bring something to her and tell her, hide it in your bag. I don't want Betty to see it. Betty shouldn't see it or something like that. And my mother says, yes, yes, yes. Where did you get it from and all that? A friend of mine, it's really good. I drink it every day. And she pours her a glass. Okay, the woman knows very well that I try to uh, control my mother's drinking, you know, without letting her get angry, without letting her get paranoid, without letting her get psychotic, and having her withdrawal. I was kind of controlling her withdrawal when I was seeing that she was trying to get cuckoo. I would give her a little wine and then, calm her down and then leave a gap. Because if she was drinking 2 glasses too close, then she was getting mean. And in 2 weeks, I kind of found the balance, And I knew that she would ask me anyway, the first drink at 11 o'clock. And by 6 o'clock, she must have finished her last sip. Not from that drink. The 2 drinks became 3 in the in that time. Okay, at the beginning it was 2 drinks, but then I started seeing that she was like having a withdrawal later and all that, so we kind of made it 3 drinks. And I would give her in a child's mug, not mug, little camper's mug thing, which is closed, and then you have a little hole and you drink from the hole kind of thing. So and put water, so she wouldn't see that I mixed it with water, and so that she would drink it slowly. Because if you put it in a glass, she just goes glop. She was used to all these years. She didn't drink water. She drank wine like water from a glass. Fup. And the woman knew all that. She still brought her wine secretly at 7 o'clock. We had finished. With my mother, it was done deal. She had drunk her last drink. It was 6 o'clock. She would drink her last drink. So at 9, I could give her sleeping pill, and we had no side effects. Okay, because this also I realized the sleeping pill with the wine, she had side effects. She thought she was Wonder Woman. She would get up and walk, and say I'm going to the fridge when she knows that she's not capable of. She shouldn't, or walk with a broken hip. But she would say things like that. So those were the side effects. The other lady was informed about all that, and she still brought her wine. And then you hear her in the recording say, "Where's the golden cross you promised me?" And then, "Don't let her take you to Athens. Go to your house and I'll come and take care of you." Well, of course. The 2 weeks, my mother, every time I closed the door and let the woman take care of her, I would go out. My mother was telling this woman, my daughters are stealing from me. My daughters want to lock me up and take all my money. And I have so much gold and golden jewelry in my house, and I have antiques and all that, and they want to grab all of it. So she was giving information to the what? To the lady who comes from a ex-Russian bloc, whatever you call them, country, one of the worst countries. They're all criminals there, and even the Russians, the real Russians, they know that these people are to keep away from. Keep away from them. They are very dangerous people, and then so I freaked out. I hear all this on the phone and I freak out because I trusted the woman. I have no, for me, there's good and bad in every place in the world. There's good and bad in every country. I never would say these people from this country are bad or these people from this country are good. There's good and bad everywhere. But since then, of course, I spoke with many people to tell them, what had happened to me, because I don't want this woman working for another old lady. There's no fucking way I'm gonna let her get close to another old lady if it's in my possibility. And they all tell me, but how did you trust her in the first place? When she tells you where she comes from, it's like, no. And we have this Ukrainian woman who cleans my mother's house usually. She was like, I wanted to tell you, but because I was her cleaner and you asked me to come and work and do that for you, and I couldn't because I could not tell you that. Keep away from her. It's just when you hear this, where they come from, you keep away. In Russia, we know that these bad people. Um, anyway, I went crazy. I got mad. Uh, I went to find the woman and I asked her, why did you do that? Why did you do that when you knew the problem that I was going through? And she dared tell me, but you told me the doctor said that you should that she should drink. I said, he didn't say she should drink. He said, control her drinking and don't stop her completely. Give her to drink, but control it. I said, who are you to. Anyway, she tried to say that my mother grabbed it from her hand and hit her. It was like full of shitty excuses. She fell down to her knees and she begged me not to talk about it, because she was a Christian. Like, that meant something to me. Anyway, I went back to my mother, shouted at her. I said, you fucking get me into trouble. I mean, you keep on doing wrong moves, and I have to run behind you all the time and save, pick up the pieces and save the situation and all that. And I was so angry with her, and we were leaving in 2 hours. That was the next morning that I went to find the lady, and we were leaving 2 hours. It was drama. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into more details. I already gave too much. It was drama, but the good thing is that we had a good 5-hour trip calmly, because my mother didn't dare. She was trying to get me on her good side, yeah. Because I was very angry with her, and I expressed that, and I said, you don't trust your children, but you trust to talk about all the shit, all the money you have, about all the money problems, all the situations, and talk bad about your daughters to a stranger, and you're not even awake, when she comes and tells you where is the golden cross, or don't go, try to convince you to go back home with a broken hip and problem and an alcohol problem. Go back home and take care of you? Are you fucking kidding me? When you've been complaining all these days that she doesn't wash you properly, that she doesn't change your diaper because she's supposedly um, doesn't want to waste the diaper. There's no point in changing it, but what she didn't want to do is clean her, and so she was telling her it's okay. And I said, and you trust her to tell her all these bad things about you? Prefer to tell her all the bad, so that she brings you a little wine? Of course, that morning I had a problem because the side effects of the pill with the wine that she's been drinking all night made her walk to the door. She just, crossed the room, went to the door, and opened the door. And of course, after that, she was in pain. I mean, anyway, so we got her to the clinic, and this is about the drama. I want to make this video about the drama and also about the fact that at an older age, when they start to lose the power of playing people around and all that, narcissists will attract bad thinking people. It's normal. It's normal because they manipulate and use people for their own satisfaction, for what they want to gain. Okay, so it's normal that they will attract people who see that, because it's obvious. They see that as a weakness, and they will use them back by giving them what they want or telling them what they want to hear. Okay, so this woman was really encouraging my mother, was telling my mother what she wanted to hear. She was telling her, oh, it's bad, why did you give money to your daughters? You shouldn't have given money to your daughters. um, don't let them take you to a clinic, you have to go back home. So she was kind of telling my mother what she wanted to hear, you know bringing her what she wanted to have, her wine, and secretly all this in a way, and at the same time take advantage of my mother. Where's the golden cross that you promised me? And I'll go shopping for you. I'll go and get you shopping. Of course, my mother gave her the first day. In one of the recordings, you hear my mother give her 25 euro to bring her toilet paper. And she says, if it's not enough, you pay and I will give you the rest. I mean, how easy it is to make money, 25 euro for toilet paper? I said, you crazy? 5 euro would have been too much. So, I mean, probably this woman could easily have come back and say, oh, I didn't have enough, it was 30, but I didn't have enough money with me. And the woman grabbed that straight away. She grabbed the fact that she could use this woman back, and get what she wants from her. And this is a normal road, this is the normal, this is where it goes. This is where it goes with narcissists. They've been manipulating people to get what they want. And then the day comes where they will attract the people that see that. Like I've said many times, I could have used my mother a long time ago. It was easy. All I had to do was tell her what she wants to hear, do what she wants me to do. Like, be her little silent soldier, yes. Tell her how beautiful she is, how intelligent she is. Okay, my mother was not so much running after being beautiful thing, but how intelligent she is, how logical she is, how she is the best at everything. And I could have fucked my sister over a million times. And I'm saying my sister over because we're two and we're supposed to be the two people who will inherit from this woman. Whatever there is to share between the two daughters. So I could have fucked my sister over a million times. Being here, having understood what my mother needs, you know, it's that simple. Is that simple? So since then, anyway, I've talked to people who, when I tell them the story about the woman, how she tried to manipulate her, okay, and that she brought wine, that was for me, that was the worst, that you bring her wine and behind my back, when you know what I was going through. And that was a dangerous thing to do, because my mother could have fallen again, broken her hip, and never left this island. The fact is that I couldn't last one more day, one extra day I couldn't have lasted. I tell you guys, this is crazy doing. All the time my mother was trying, I was feeling sorry for her being alone in the room, and I would go and have conversation with her, but the conversation were always going to, there were always triggers, and she was using her memory loss, her partial memory loss, to ask me again the same questions and get me into the conversation where I would go crazy. It was like, I've explained you 1,000 times, that is wrong. You hate my mother-in-law for the wrong reasons. You shouldn't hate her, but the reasons you're hating her are not, it's wrong. It's false. It's not correct. This is, and this was going on every day and every day. So I wouldn't have lasted one more day. But anyway, when I was talking to the people that I know, that know my mother, and they were asking, oh, what's happening to your mother? How is she? You know, what are you going to do and all that. And I was telling them about this evil woman taking care of old people, because she's been taking care of old people in the village for a long time. Okay, and if I hadn't put the recorder, I wouldn't have guessed what she was up to. So God knows how much she's taken from so many houses. And a lady we know for many years turned around and said, well, your mother was always like that, you know. She would come and tell me, the person who's going to take care of me is going to get everything I have. Of course, it's never going to be a daughter of hers. It's always, she was always talking about a stranger. You know, it was just because, I mean, her daughters, she had them in her daughter, me, she, at least for myself, I can speak, she had me in her pocket. She knew that I would run. She knew that I would take care of her. She knew all that. So I didn't count. But she wanted more people. So she would say things like that so that she was kind of attracting bad people, because she was talking that so loud that, oh, an evil person would say, oh, so you're going to give everything to the person who takes care of you? Well, I'm going to come and take care of you, little old lady. Wait for that. You know, this is how it goes. This is how it goes. So, next video is about the clinic and the doctors and the whole situation. Bye.